everyone, welcome to this, our first video supplement for the Reformation unit. Why don't you get to it, HD?
To understand the Protestant Reformation, one must understand some of the history of the Catholic Church. The Church today is very different as an institution than it was back then.
Go ahead and show us what you're talking about, please.
Well, in the beginnings of the Catholic Church were with the first Christians in the Middle East and Greece. The religion spread to Europe and Africa, and was eventually made the official religion of the Roman Empire. The empire fell, but the Church did not.
Well, it had to change roles in the Middle Ages and find a way to legitimize itself. It did so by becoming the official church of local kings and the Holy Roman Empire, by crowning Charlemagne.
In 1054, the Church split, though, along doctrinal lines into two halves. The eastern half would become known as the Orthodox Church, and the western half, the Catholic Church. 400 years after that, just before the Renaissance began to really get rolling, there was the Great Schism of Western Christianity,
in which there were 3 popes for a short time. It was a big mess. The point of telling you this is so that you begin to realize that the early church politics were all over the place. The church was not one unified thing.
There were a lot of popes in the Renaissance. They all had different agendas and plans, so the policy of the church seemed to jump around a bit. In earlier videos we mentioned Pope Sixtus IV, who was known for bringing the Renaissance to Rome,
with, as you should recall, the Sistine Chapel.
He was also known for trying to have Lorenzo Medici assassinated. What we did not mention, though, was the fact that he annulled the decrees of the Council of Constance. That meant life was about to get much harder for non-Catholics.
Nobody expects... never mind.
The Spanish Inquisition was authorized by Sixtus IV as part of a deal with the King of Spain. The Inquisition sought to convert or eradicate all non-Catholics from the land. There was a lengthy process by which people would be denounced, tried and sentenced to all sorts of terrible fates.
HD, how do you think that would have made the general populace feel about the church?
Droids do not experience fear, so my understanding is, of course, limited. Despite that, I calculate a high probability of the Inquisition striking unmitigated terror into the hearts of the masses. They would fear the Chuck, and fear showing their terror, lest the Inquisition think they might have something to hide.
So, the Pope did all of that? I'm starting to doubt the, good intentions of Sixtus IV.
It is worth noting that Sixtus IV did not carry out the Inquisition on his own. All that he did was give the King of Spain leave to act freely. In fact, the original agreement demanded that people taken into custody by the Inquisition would be given due process, and be allowed to appeal to Rome for acquittal.
Oh, so they were supposed to get a fair trial, and they were supposed to be able to call on the Pope for help if needed, but that didn't happen.
Precisely, but the King of Spain ignored that completely. He abused the power given him by Pope Sixtus IV, and used the Inquisition for personal gain. No human is all bad, sir.
No human? What do you mean?
A robot designed to be evil could do so flawlessly, of course.
Never mind. So, the church was wary of new ideas introduced in the Renaissance, and some of the people of Europe began to feel that the church was overstepping its bounds.
Yes, many people saw corruption within the church. In addition to that, nationalism was beginning to gain strength. People were more loyal to their own countries than to the church as an institution. Finally, the printing press had been invented.
People were becoming literate. All of these developments made the whole world, well, Europe, ripe for sweeping change.
Yes, the Protestant Reformation.
Which, of course, is the topic for the whole unit. Thank you for watching.